Let's set our sights now on our CourtVison. Take a look at some of the stars on display tonight at the top of the hour with BYU and Kansas State. And Dallin Hall, we mentioned a moment ago, what it all goes through him.
Yeah, and he is. We talked about him being his strength and his physicality, and those are two different things, right? Somebody can be strong, but not play physical, and he does both. His vision just keeps getting better. Great court sense. But I'll go back to this. I think his strength, along with his physicality and this confidence that is building, is making him one of the best point guards in the Big 12 right now. And he's shown that over the last couple of weeks. They need him to play great because he's the motor that makes this offense run.
Fousseyni Traore has played great. Started the last two games. Kristen averaging 22.5 points while shooting 54% from the field. Had a big night against Texas last time at the Marriott Center.
He is playing outstanding. He's that big, barrel-chested, physical inside presence. Blaine just talked about what Dallin Hall does on the perimeter, but Foose is their enforcer inside both sides of the ball. He's just exceptional at what he does in there, and he presents a lot of mismatch problems, forces the defense to make decisions, to switch, to stay, protect when he's out there in that pick and roll situation. Last 3 games, averaging those 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, and he's shooting 64% from the floor. Very efficient for this BYU team.
Trevin Knell's a hot shooter at home, 46.5% from the three-point line. Tyler, he's cooled off the last 4 games, just 2 of 14, average of 4.7, didn't score at Oklahoma. Now you're a shooter. What does this shooter got to do to get things back?
Well, I think as a rhythm guy, you've got to get in and just continue to take good shots. Don't hesitate at all. Push the reset button. I think Trevin Knell's one of those guys that has a short memory, and it's every game's a new game. He's a leader in that locker room. Guys are looking to him to be a scorer and take those shots. They expect him to take those shots. Averaging 11 points a game. We've seen him get hot in this conference, and especially at home. 46% is pretty good at home. I expect him to have a good night tonight.
Short memories are good unless you're in college algebra and can't remember anything you just learned.
You got to remember that.
Flashbacks from a long time ago. Ali Khalifa there, Blaine, missed the last 2 games with the flu. He's still number 7 in the NCAA in assists to turnovers. And when he's up on the outside, that backdoor cut just seems to be waiting for everybody.
Well, what he does for BYU is he makes them really difficult to defend. And in all the games that we did early in the season, when he started to play and started to be effective with the passing game as a high post player, every coach said, yeah, we have to completely design our defense differently to defend him. He makes us change what we normally do, and we have to decide what we're going to do with him and how we're going to defend him. So every time he's on the floor, if a defense is coming in and they've got to do something different than they normally do, that's an advantage right there and then. And then if you sag off of him on when he comes and screens or gets the ball on a handoff or has the ball and is faking handoffs, if you back off of him, he turns around and has the capability of knocking down threes, which makes him so dangerous. And so it'll be interesting to see what Kansas State does. We know that in the last 3 games, they put their 2 big guys that had been starting on the bench. They're 6'11" and 6'9" guys and have been playing smaller. Well, with a smaller team, how are they going to match up with this guy outside? That's a big question I have in the matchups for tonight.
I love the look on Khalifa's face. It's this, I can take it or leave it. It's not that important. I can take it or leave it. And we'll see what he and Foose do and how they manage the minutes together. Here's Cam Carter. He's had a great week already. 19 points, Kristen, Monday against Kansas.
He's part of the big 3 for this Kansas State team, and he leads them in scoring, assists, steals, field goal attempts, and makes. Those 19 points on Monday, equally as impressive were 11 rebounds, the double-double that he had, because he was going hard, getting that defensive rebound. All 11 were on the defensive side, but he has the ability to get the board and push in transition to create, and he's part of what they want to do by running, pushing pace, getting out in transition. He scored in double figures in 20 games this season. Coach Tang calls him a bucket getter, and his ability to go get his own bucket and create off the dribble might present some mismatch problems for BYU in this one.
Look at this shot here. That's Greg Wrubell behind him. He's got his game face on, getting ready to call the action on BYU Radio with Mark Durant. Those guys aren't messing around. And you can hear them over on BYU Radio. Here's Tyler Perry. He's the Dallin Hall of this group, right? The assist leader for Kansas State, Tyler.
No, so tough and just not afraid of big moments. Watching him in that Kansas game, going down the stretch, he wanted the ball in his hands. He took big shots, got to the rim. although undersized, 5'11", 185 pounds, he's a great finisher inside and makes really difficult shots. I think he's a guy that needs to come out aggressive for this Kansas State team. Everything flows through him. He competes on both sides of the ball, and he'll have to be big tonight for Kansas State.
Arthur Kaluma averages 14 points. He's faced BYU twice when he was at Creighton. His career high was actually against the Cougars last year in Las Vegas, which BYU won.
Yeah, and so he's the one guy on this team that can say, hey, I know these guys. I've played against these guys. Not only that, I've had great success against these guys. And he's a matchup problem because he's a big body at 6'7" and 225 pounds, so he can play physical down low, but he's also really athletic. He's got a great first step. He leads this team in rebounding at 7.1. He's really aggressive at going after the offensive glass. So when the ball goes up and BYU's playing defense, somebody got to find 24 and put a body on him, or he'll get a bunch of second chance points. And he created problems for BYU last year. If they don't put a body on him, he'll create problems again this year.